JanBask training. Learn and grow.
Today we will be studying two more AWS storage products. So if you actually look at storage, we are done with S3, we are done with S3 Glacier, we are done with CloudFront, and today we are going to be studying Storage Gateway as well as AWS Snowball. These are the two important storage services. So you can say that like Snowball is under migration and transfer, but yeah, it's essentially a storage service. Okay, and even CloudFront, you would say, okay, this is not under storage, it's under networking, but yes, at the end of the day, it's a storage service. So they are organized around here in somewhat organized manner, or maybe what AWS seems fit, but yeah, some services can be under different names, different categories. So let's go to AWS Storage Gateway first. AWS Storage Gateway. So whenever you come to AWS Storage Gateway, you will be presented with a page like this. Okay, so what's on this page is a small introduction. So say you have a data center, right? So you have a big data center, all your data is in there, and now you want to store all that data in cloud to AWS. Now, definitely you need to transfer that much data to AWS. You need to have a constant connection for your data. So you can have two kinds of connections, right? One connection is over the internet. Okay, it's a normal internet connection. Maybe you get 100 Mbps, 1 gig, or a 10 gig connection. And if you think about it, 10 gig connection gives you around 1.2 GB per second of data, right? So say your data requirements are way more than that. You want even more. You can keep scaling your internet connection, but it's going to cost you a lot, because a 1 gig connection on an enterprise level will cost you thousands of dollars. So AWS came up with a solution wherein you can connect AWS storage infrastructure with your current IT infrastructure in a very elegant manner. So what they did, they partnered with lot of providers out there, lot of internet providers, to provide storage specific, high speed, low latency networks to AWS customers, right? So this is not something you can do practical on. I mean, for setting up your own storage gateway, you need to have your own data center, right? So this is actually a data center product, but yes, you should know like what it does and where it is used. So whenever you're giving an exam for AWS Solution Architect Associate, they will not ask you for setting up a AWS storage gateway. For that matter, they don't ask you to set up anything, but yes, you should know if any case arise, you should know how to work around, and you should know what that service actually does. So being a solution architect is more about knowing what a particular service does rather than knowing how to do it, right? How you can easily figure out with a couple of Google searches, just fiddling around your console, you can easily figure that out, right? But knowing which service to use, which will be most efficient, which will be best for that particular use case, is more important, right? So unless until you know that, you'll have to keep on looking at each and every AWS service unless and until you find a right match. Okay, so if you look at AWS Storage Gateway, so this is the official AWS Amazon Storage Gateway page. So what they do, it's a hybrid storage solution. Okay, hybrid means half on your data center, half on cloud, right? So you have your presence on premise as well as cloud. So you have access to both of those. So say there are certain services that are running on premise that want really low latency data access. You can give them storage from on premise. Maybe they want to expand their storage more. And okay, no worries. You can connect to the cloud. You can even connect your tape backups to the cloud. Okay, reducing on-premise storage with cloud-backed features. So that way your cloud-backed file shares can really, so you don't have to go out and purchase new storage, because your on-premise storage can now be infinitely expanded with the help of cloud, right? So you can have a tape gateway, file gateway, volume gateway. So what is the difference between a tape gateway, file gateway, volume gateway? All three are types of storage gateways, right? So tape gateway, so you might have heard, like whenever you're doing archival or storing huge amounts of data for backup purposes, many big companies just store it on storage tapes. So what does a storage tape looks like? Storage tape. Okay, so if you look at the storage tape, if you look at it, 6.25 TB of compressed data and 2.5 TB of normal data, right? So this is 5 pack. Okay, so it will be around 10, 12.5 TB of data, right, in $140. So if you want to purchase a hard drive, okay, in $140, you will maybe get 2 TB of data, right? And here you're getting 10 TB of data. So it's way cheap, right? So it's very cheap going like on storage. So even HP makes one. But these are used for only backup purposes or storage, long-term storage. So what is the reason they are used for that only? Because to store data in a serial manner, it's really easy. You just keep on writing on it. Okay, so some of you might remember back in the day we used to have Walkmans, right? So Walkmans used to have a small cassette. So if you want to listen to the first song, then the second song, then the third song, no problem, it will do that just fine. But say you want to skip a couple of songs, so you have to fast forward the whole tape, you have to spin the whole tape. That used to take a lot of time. So that is the same case with these storage tapes. So say you want to write data serially, no worries. But if you want to have random access to your data, you want to be able to read your data at any point in time, you will get a larger latency. But yes, if you are storing for audit purposes or maybe backup purposes, couple of minutes to reach to your data is fine then. But yes, for a real-time application, for maybe a web server, you cannot have this type of storage, right? So that is the actual usage of tape-based storage, right? Then you get your file gateway. The file gateway essentially connects to S3, right? So tape gateway connects to Glacier. File gateway is similar to S3. So you can have file gateway. So in S3, what you store all the files in your buckets, right? So say you have a similar kind of requirement wherein you need on-premise as well as cloud storage. So in that case, you will be suggesting file gateway. Then you can use volume gateway. So volume gateway is like getting hard drives from cloud. So maybe you have some kind of SAN system or NAS system, right? So NAS is like network access storage. So you have a lot of storage available over network and you want a similar capability. So AWS similar capability is EBS. So you can have EFS as well as EBS available to your customers over the internet via volume gateway. So these are the three type of storage gateway that the AWS provides. You can read more about them. It is more of a theoretical thing because you cannot really do practicals on this on your own. Reason being because you need an actual data center to set up a storage gateway. So you should know what it does. So essentially you have to read this page only, aws.amazon.com/storage gateway. So if you read this page, you know pretty much that is there for AWS for setting up AWS storage gateway, right? You should know the pricing, you should know what are the different things. So this is the pricing, right? So if you go at pricing, this is the pricing. Okay, so file gateway, this is volume gateway pricing, this is tape gateway pricing. Okay, this is data transfer between the different regions or what you call it from on-prem to cloud. Okay, so this is your pricing calculator. You can put data, everything. It will give you a cost, right? So you should know what pricing you are going to get, right? How much it's going to cost you, okay? And you should know how to set it up. But you cannot really set up on your own because you need a data center because this is a physical thing, right? Just read about it. You'll get questions around it. Okay, say I'll give you an example question, right? So in exam you're presented with a solution, right? Scenario, right? So in exam you'll get a question like, okay, a company wants to expand their storage solution. They already have a huge amount of AWS workloads running. Now they want their current storage solution to be able to talk to AWS storage, and they want it to be integrated into their main IT infrastructure. So what are the steps that you will suggest to set it up? So the simple answer is set up a storage gateway. Analyze what kind of storage they are looking. Are they looking for file storage, tape storage, or volume storage? Similarly, suggest tape gateway, file gateway, or volume gateway. Okay. So next great product. I really love this product. I mean, it's a genius product from Amazon actually. So it's called AWS Snowball. Okay. So what does AWS Snowball does? So it's almost like AWS Storage Gateway, but not quite like it. So I like to call it Amazon shipping in reverse, right? So why is that? Say you want to move 1 petabyte of data, like 100,000 terabytes or 100,000 GB of data into cloud. Okay. Now, when you want to do that, there are a couple of challenges. First is your internet bandwidth, how much bandwidth you can get, right? So let's go with the bandwidth calculator. Bandwidth data transfer calculator. Okay, let's go with this one. So upload time calculator. So say I have, let me go to terabyte, and I have 1,000 terabytes of data, and I am going with 100 gigabits per second. It's a really fast connection. Okay, so with a 100 gigabit connection, I will need 2 hours, 30 minutes, and 20 seconds to transfer that data. But a 100 gigabit connection, to set it up, first it will take a lot of time. A company has to provide me all that cable and everything. They have to do that, right? And then I have to talk to AWS to provide me 100 gigabit connection. So mostly the companies end up getting 10 gig, see, 22 hours, and even 1 gig connection usually. So usually the internet connections are around 1 gig. So with 1 gig connection, you will take around 9 days, 6 or 30 minutes and 20 seconds. So it's close to 9.5 days, right? It's more than 9.5 days. So to transfer 100 terabytes of data, if you don't want to incur astronomical costs, right, you will have to wait for 10 days. Now that's an issue because you want the data right there. So essentially with AWS Snowball, what you can do, you can just ask AWS to send a guy with a small device. Okay, so if you look at AWS Snowball, okay, so they will come with that device like this, right? So they will come with the device like this, right? So this device will have 42 or 100 terabytes of storage. So you can go for 100 terabytes of storage in every one of these. So say you want to transfer 1,000 terabytes of data. You just need 10 of these. Just order those. Expedited shipping, Amazon will come to your doorstep with 10 of these. Just hook them up to your server wherever your storage is. Transfer everything onto here. Close it again and just send it back to Amazon. As soon as it reaches Amazon, they will hook it up to their data center and just unload your data into their data center, right? So let's think about it. Okay, so initially I'm getting 9 days with 1 gigabit connection. Say I want to transfer 1,000 terabytes of data. Not an unusual case. It happens. It's 92 days. Maybe on 10 gigabit connection, which is most popular for an internet connection, I'll take 9 days. Yeah. Now, what I do, I instead go with Snowball. Okay, let's go with Snowball. 1 day for Snowball to arrive at your doorstep. 1 day to say transfer data and pack it up again, and 1 day for it to reach Amazon. So within 3 days, you have transferred all your data back to Amazon, right? So initially I was taking 9.5 days. Now I'm taking just 3 days, maybe a couple of more hours. So I have now an advantage to ship data real fast to Amazon without overutilizing my internet bandwidth. Okay. So say if I am utilizing my internet bandwidth, AWS upload will take all the bandwidth that is out there, and my other user will be left hungry for bandwidth because they won't be able to use the internet while I am uploading huge amounts of data for 9.5 days. So yeah, usability is there. Second thing, with AWS Snowball, you can physically migrate petabyte scales of data, right? So if you go to features, fast data transfer, okay, right? Encryption is there, so it's not like even if it gets stolen while in shipping, don't worry about it. It's encrypted. It's rugged and portable. Okay, it's tamper resistant. You cannot really tamper with it. End-to-end tracking, every kind of tracking that Amazon provides will be applicable over here as well. It's secure, erasure. Okay, has been verified. As soon as the data transfer is verified, Amazon will clean the Snowball device, right? They will erase it, delete everything that was there for whenever they are sending it to new customer. It's programmable. You can, interact with it via API, via CLI, right? And there are some specifications. So if you want to look at specifications, here are the specifications. So it's 47 pounds. These are its, and this is how it looks like. RJ45, SFP plus fiber connection. multiple of these. So 16 core CPU, 16 gigs of RAM, and so on. And you can just transfer your data and ship it to AWS. Okay. And with AWS Snowball, right? So this is AWS Snowball, wherein you get a small device, okay, small device like this, shipped to you, in which you can transfer all your data and ship it to AWS. And as soon as it reaches Amazon's data center, they'll plug it in their own data center and just unload your data there. So this is nice for smaller amounts of data. Maybe you want to go crazy and transfer more amounts of data. So Amazon will literally send a truck to you, right, to move exabyte scale of data to cloud in weeks. Okay, so exabyte is 100,000 petabytes, right? 100,000 petabytes. So this is right now 1,000 terabytes. If I add one more, this is 10 petabyte. If I add one more, this is 100 petabyte. If I add one more, this is 1,000 petabytes, right? So if I calculate, it will take me 9 to 59 days over a 10-bit connection. Just not possible. Even if I get a 100-bit connection, it will still take me more than close to 3 years to just transfer my data. But with AWS Snowmobile, they will come with a truck full of AWS Snowball devices, right? Just plug them right into my data center. And as soon as they have plugged it into my data center, I'll be able to start transferring my data. And within a couple of weeks, that's something that was going to take me close to 3 years on a 100 gigabit connection. And that connection can break anytime, it can go down and everything. I can do that same within a couple of weeks, maybe 2, 3, or maybe 5 weeks. Right? So 3 years worth of work, you can actually do it in a month or so, right? So Snowmobile is like big daddy of data transfer, right? So this is smaller, the Snowmobile device. Okay, this is the Snowball device. This is our Snowmobile. Okay, so a question can come like, okay, I want to move 100 petabytes of storage. What should I use? The answer is for 100 petabyte of data, right? You want to use something like Snowball. You want to transfer 100 terabytes of data. You have to use Snowball, right? So this is how it works. So this is the pricing page for Snowball, right? So you can see cost around 0.03 per GB. So data transfer into S3 is 100% free, right? So it will cost you a service fee of $200 for a 50 TB transfer, 250 for Snowball 80 TB per Snowball 80 TB, right? So if you want to transfer 800 terabytes of data, you will just pay $2,500. They will send you 10 of these, and first 10 days you'll be free. Then every extra day it's gonna cost you $15 more. Okay, and data transfer into AWS will be completely free. But yes, if you are transferring it out of S3, yeah, these are the values. Okay, and shipping is calculated based on how you are going to ship. And if you lose one of those devices, you will have to pay $7,500. Yeah. So this is how the pricing for Snowball works. Snowmobile, it comes with its own special pricing based on the customer, because if you are moving that much data into AWS, you definitely have special pricing for you, right? These are retail pricings. Okay, whatever pricings are these are all retail pricings. But definitely, if you are running your enterprise workload on AWS, so you will definitely preferred pricing. So if you are a huge company, they usually end up signing up some kind of a document with AWS wherein they promise, okay, we are going to run our services in AWS for 2 years, or maybe 3 years, or 4 years, or 5 years, whatever it is, or we are going to give you a minimum of this much business. You give us special pricing, so AWS discounts some pricing for them. Yeah, but these are just a retail pricings, whatever you say. Now the next service that I'm going to look at is EFS. So Amazon Elastic File System. This is something that we are going to be actually doing with EC2. Okay, so it comes under storage. I agree to it, but it will be more understood when we do it with EC2, because right now I can create file system, but I won't be able to use it because it gets used alongside EC2, right? Just wanted to put it out there. So this will be, I think, second or third class of AWS in terms of compute in EC2 when we will be doing, right? So yeah, this will be like we'll be doing this then, right? Understood? Because it works with any number of EC2 instances. So it only works with EC2. If you don't know how to use EC2, there is no point in learning Amazon Elastic File System, right? So we'll do this with that. And similar is the case with FSX. So it's fully managed third-party systems. So it also works with some kind of server technology you have to have there. So you can have FSX for Windows file server for Lustre. So these are the two file systems that it provides. But yes, you will need either a Linux server or a Windows server to actually use this. So this we will do when we study the compute options. All right. So let's go to AWS Backup then. So let's look at this. AWS Backup centrally manages and automates backup around AWS services. Okay. So whatever backup you want to do, right? So it will be one of these backups, right? Either it will be EBS, RDS, DynamoDB, EFS, warm backup, cold backup, and storage gateway snapshot. So all these, when we will study these, you don't have to worry about this. When we will study these, I'm going to definitely discuss how the backup happens there, how we will back up EBS, how we will back up RDS, how we will back up DynamoDB, right? So right now, if I tell you, okay, this is how I back up a EBS snapshot, you don't know what a EBS snapshot is like. I haven't taught you that. Maybe you know, and some of you might not know because it's your first time. Somebody has already read and they have worked on it. They might know. So for them, it might be easy. Yeah, but I am going to skip over this because unless and until I teach you what is EBS snapshot, okay, I cannot really teach you what AWS backup actually does, right? So you have to learn these before you can start learning about AWS backup. Okay, so these couple of services, right? EFS, FSX will come with EC2, and this will come with different services. It will keep coming up as we go through compute, as we go through database, as we go through storage, as we go through network. So AWS backup will keep coming up, but yeah, these will be done with EC2 when we do EC2. Yeah, so I did forget to tell you about these reports, right? So what are these reports? So CloudFront cache statistics. So CloudFront is essentially a copy service, right? So you have your data at one place, it copies it all over the world. So what it does all over the world, like in all the data centers it maintains the local copies. So these are all the data centers the CloudFront exists in. It maintains local copies there, right? So it means local caches there, right? So when it's maintaining local caches there, so it will keep telling you what is the cache statistics, right? So you got how many requests? Say you got 18 requests, yeah, or 256 requests in total. Okay, how many of them were hits? Hits means you didn't have to come back to that S3 bucket from where you were picking that data up. Okay, not as an example, but good to know all this, what it does actually. Okay, so, and errors are it didn't found anything there. So a user was trying to search something and it didn't found it anywhere. Okay, these are errors. And what are the misses? Misses are when it didn't have data in CloudFront and it had to come back to the S3 bucket, look for data and then copy it over. Okay, so higher the hit value, lower will be the miss value, and lower the hit value, higher will be the miss value. So more you miss, right, lower hits you get, and more you hit, lower misses you get, right? So it's like that, and it shows how much data you have transferred, right? And so these are status codes. These are get percentage, how many of the requests were get and that did not finish downloading. So you can have all this like detail that is there. You can in previous 60 days, hourly, you can just view all the reports that you want. Okay. So if you want to look at the performance of CloudFront, you come in reports and inventories. All right. So I think that would be it for today's class. Okay. All right. Thank you guys. Bye bye.
JanBask training. Learn and grow.